There's a family in our driveway.
There's not a family in our driveway. There's a family.
Hello, and welcome to R&R Reviews Unscripted. You're here today with me and my brother, who are just a couple of cinephiles, and we're going to educate you on why we review a movie the way we did. The topic of our review today is the movie Us from Jordan Peele.
Alert, spoiler warning ahead. We're about to talk about the movie Us, and we're going to get all down and deep into those details. So if you haven't seen it, this would be the point where you would stop listening. But honestly, if you haven't seen it, it's probably time to see it.
And let's be honest, if you're clicking on our review for a movie that you haven't seen yet, it's probably because you wanted to know if it's a movie you should go see. But we can't really help you in that way.
Listen, that's not what we're about here. It's not what we're about. But as you can see on our Facebook page, R&R Reviews, we gave the movie Us an overall rating of 6.2 out of 10 points.
And we'd like to remind you yet again that we see 4 as an average. So 6.2 means this is a pretty good movie.
It's a good flick. You should check it out.
It's definitely at least worth one watch in your lifetime.
Yes.
Yes, master.
Jordan Peele comes to us again with yet another original story and kind of reshapes and redefines what we consider horror movies, in my opinion. This isn't a movie that's going to rely on jump scares. It's not even a movie that relies too heavily on gore, in my opinion. It's really just about this original story that keeps you wondering the whole time.
And I gotta say, and even if this movie doesn't scare you or freak you out, it is really gonna weird you out, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird storyline, a weird feel, tone to the movie, a very weird score. Gives it just this eerie kind of, just eerie feeling throughout the entire film.
Right, it sounds like, I don't even know.
I don't even know. It's weird.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. But y'all scared of a family?
Hi, can I help you?
Zora, put your shoes on.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
I give credit to Jordan Peele for coming up with yet another original idea that's still a good, solid, decent flick. It's definitely something that you want to get a part of and watch. It has a lot of foreshadowing and Easter eggs in the beginning of the film that then play out towards the end, so you'll want to pay attention for things like that. But I do have a few issues with the film itself also.
Well, tell me, my brother, what might those issues be?
I think that in the third act, we don't really get a good reveal. We don't understand what's happening, and I think that kind of plays into the horror genre itself. They want to leave it open-ended with you kind of guessing. We have the tethered out at the end. They're all holding hands in a line like the Hands Across America commercial, and we see helicopters in the distance and what look like could be battles, as if they're kind of just taking over and trying to do their own thing. I still think that we missed a lot of information in between there. We don't really get a good, thorough landscape of what the reveal is in the film. I also feel like it's kind of weird, like that there's people underneath that are just doing the same thing that everyone else is doing in these tiny rooms. Like...
Right. I mean, how do they know?
That was a little weird.
How do they know what the people above ground are doing when they're underground? They didn't really explain how they know this. And also, are these tethered people have superpowers? Because from what I could see, they're like holding hands all the way across the oceans. Does that mean that people are down there holding hands underwater? And are they drowning? Are they getting attacked by sharks, squids? How do they even make it to the bottom of the ocean?
There's so many questions unanswered in the end, and I know that that's part of what it is. I also think that the twist was cool. Obviously, we find out that Lupita Nyong'o, I'm probably saying that wrong, Lupita Nyong'o's character actually switched with her tethered character as a child. So this whole time, she's really the tethered character, and the original character is trying to get her family back. So we find that out at the end. Still kind of weird to me, because then that girl lived underneath all that time and was just a part of that. But how do they know? I don't understand. And
how did she forget how to talk?
And is there one for every person in the whole world? So they're just all under there and they were all created, and then I don't know, there's just so much empty space there.
You just feel like the plot is building up towards this big thing the whole time, and to the end what you get doesn't feel quite big enough for the mountain that you climb to get there.
I have to say that is very well said.
It's
would
like-
agree with you 100%.
It's like climbing up Mount Everest, and then when you get to the top, it's just a Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Nobody wants to get in there. Who knows how dirty that thing is?
Right, diapers, needles, who knows? If anyone's in a Chuck E. Cheese ball pit right now, get out.
And go see the doctor. Make sure you're
It's not
vaccinated.
sick. Might get hepatitis or something like that. I don't know.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
What are you people?
It's us.
So overall, though, great storyline. The movie keeps you pulled in the whole time. You're wondering what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. I do want to say this. Winston Duke sucked, okay? I don't know what's up with that guy. Like, he was like, so you know in old-fashioned horror films, they're always like tripping over stuff or like they're making dumb choices all the time and you're like yelling at the screen. You know, and I feel like he was the only one in this movie still stuck in that mindset. Like, he's like laying down, crawling away from stuff, and like he gets hit once and he's just completely out. Like, he just seemed useless the whole movie.
I feel like that's not necessarily Winston's fault, though. That's just the way his character was wrote. And maybe that's just kind of Jordan Peele's way of calling back to older, horror movies.
Maybe.
Right.
I could see that for sure.
But yeah, he definitely made all the newer characters pretty smart. I do take issue with how easily the kids were just ready to murder human beings and not even, fret about it after they were super scared because there was people standing in their driveway, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'll kill a dude.
Right? Just march in this house and start killing people. And then I felt like their overall general ability in that film, I feel like overall they were way too calm in that film. Like, after they killed the tethered versions of Elizabeth Moss and their family's characters, they're all just sitting there chilling out in the kitchen. Like, nobody seems like they're asking questions, what's going on, has any idea. They're just all like, no big deal.
Yeah, dead people. We see
Dead
these all the
people,
time.
and no big deal. So, I mean, that was a little underwhelming, but overall, I mean, I think it was good. I think that Get Out was better, in my opinion, but maybe that was the problem. Maybe we were all way too hyped from Jordan Peele's Get Out to really enjoy what Us could really be. We were expecting just a little bit more.
Right.
Right.
I do gotta give a lot of credit to the actors here, though. Everybody did play two characters, two completely different versions of their character, and I thought that everyone did a very good job.
I will say that's a hard thing to do, to play both characters, especially Lupita Nyong'o. She was fabulous as both of those characters.
Overall, we thought this was a pretty good film. We definitely think it's worth a see, especially if you're a fan of the horror suspense genre. And in the words of Winston Duke's doppelganger,
They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them.
be careful.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have today. Thanks again for joining in here with me and my bro, just a couple of cinephiles trying to educate you on our feelings and thoughts. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, R&R Reviews, our YouTube page, R&R Reviews, or you could email us at rogerscinemahood@gmail.com. That's ROGERSCINEMAHOOD@gmail.com. You can send us ideas for future reviews or comments or thoughts that you have on current reviews or what you want to see from us. So hit us up. Until next time, we'll see you again.
And remember, you were here with the Rogers Brothers and you heard it from us. It's a beautiful day in the cinema hood.